Today, I've got some shit talking to do. So I take a good deal of fitness classes in New York City, and I come across a lot of instructors. A lot of them are amazing, they work really hard at their craft, and then there are some that have some really bad habits. There are 5 things you can do that will guarantee I will never come back to your class. That being said, let's hop right in. Number 1, I hate when instructors walk into class as it's beginning, especially if we need equipment. I don't know what we're supposed to grab. Now, I know it's tough because 9 times out of 10, you're not being compensated for getting there early. Maybe there's a class that goes right up against the one right before you. But I'm talking about the instances where the instructor is strolling in, coat on, just walked through the door a minute before class even starts, and I just find it really disrespectful. Now, I also think that it is such a lost opportunity for the instructor because one of the most important things you can do is connect with your clients. If you are strolling in a minute before class starts and then walking out right as it leaves, you are never making that individual attention outside of the actual class time, and you're not gonna have great retention. I think you've gotta get there a little bit early, make sure they're set up properly, and honestly, show that you give a shit about them. Now, this leads right into number 2, when you don't ask about injuries. Now, if you're walking into class a minute before it starts, yeah, obviously you don't have time to ask about injuries. So this is another reason why you need to get there a little bit early. Oh my gosh, and please do not do that thing where you start class, you get over the mic, you're like, anyone have injuries, anyone, injuries? I'm not gonna like tell you about my hernia in front of these 20 strangers that I don't know and delay the start of class so you can talk to me about my injury. I don't have a hernia. I just picked that because like that's embarrassing. But I mean, that could be a thing. And also, just like I said before, you are missing out on a prime opportunity to actually connect with your clients and increase the chances of them coming back to your class at another date. Now, I know for a fact that my clients always love when I come over and talk to them about their injuries, start to talk through what they can do in class, because this leads me into number 3, which is when instructors don't give a single modification. A lot of people are not strong enough to get through an entire class without modifying. A lot of times, I'm not strong enough to get through an entire class without modifying. But the difference is, I mostly know what I'm doing, so I can take the modifications without someone telling me. But most people don't know how to modify, so they're either going to stick through a move and then get injured, or they're going to get defeated, or they're just gonna keep taking breaks, or they're gonna take a modification that's actually not a modification, completely load the wrong muscles, completely get into something else, and potentially even injure themselves. Again, you gotta talk to your clients, figure out what the injuries are. There's a bug on my ring light. Ew. Ah! Ugh. You gotta talk to your clients, figure out what their injuries are, figure out what modifications you're gonna need to give, which leads me into number 4, being unprepared. I always go through my programming before class and I think of modifications for each move based off of what common injuries are, and I come in prepared. Now, another way that instructors show me that they're unprepared is if they are doing uneven sets on each side, uneven exercises on each side, forgetting about exercises, or the big kicker, they're reading off the piece of paper. Here's the deal. I teach like 20 group fitness classes a week, so I do understand like that's a lot, and that's pretty much a different class every single time. But part of your job is at least looking like you're prepared. So like, I'm never gonna have that piece of paper right in front of me or my laptop with my notes right in front of me, but you better believe I probably have it tucked away somewhere very secret so that just in case I get off the rails, I can go over and look at it. But it's about creating this space that you look as prepared as possible and that you are as prepared as possible. I think having those notes should really just be like a little safety net for yourself until you totally blank out. And honestly, like if you do blank out, but you're prepared for every single class 99% of the time, and your clients know you, if you have like a brain fart moment, they're gonna understand. You're just human. So I say get rid of the piece of paper, put it off to the side, and just go for it. And finally, number 5, which I have no good segue for, is improper motivation. So I actually was hearing a lot of this around the holidays when I was taking classes, and this is actually what prompted me to want to talk about this, but I was hearing a lot of this talk of earning the food that you're gonna eat this weekend, or burning off all of those drinks from the holiday party. And I don't like that. I mean, maybe that's really motivating to some people. Maybe a lot of people connect with that thought, but in my opinion, I think that that's just feeding into this whole disordered eating culture that we have around us. And I think that diet and you know, exercise, even though they do play a part together. I just don't necessarily think that it's something that needs to be tied together when you're working out. You know, I did actually write an entire post about this on Instagram, which you can see right up here, but I just don't think you need to earn your food. I know you don't need to earn your food. You need to eat your food. So if you're gonna have a few extra cookies in one day over the course of 365 other days, I mean, oh my God, it's not gonna make that big of a difference. So if you're an instructor speaking like this in class, I just challenge you to not. And I think it's just really important for us to stay in our lanes. Like, we're not nutritionists, we are fitness instructors. So I think that we need to talk about what we know, because talking about food in a fitness class has nothing to do with what we're doing at that moment. Now, if you are a fitness instructor and also a nutritionist, I think that is awesome, but your clients did not pay for your nutrition advice, they paid for a workout. Also, if you're gonna talk like this in your class, I wanna see your credentials, because me sprinting for the next 30 seconds has nothing to do biologically with how a cookie is gonna go into my body later. All right, so now that my rant is over, I just wanna say, like, I'm not perfect, no one's perfect, but these are really easy things to implement into your classes to be a better group fitness instructor and help your clients reach better and bigger goals. So if you wanna know any of the things that I'm personally working on as a group fitness instructor, let me know in the comments below. I am happy to talk about all the ways that I am not perfect, that I keep fucking up in classes. I am more than happy to share that with everybody. In the meantime, hit that subscribe button and I will see you guys soon.